Be a bit of strategy today for a couple of these guys.
Look, all I can say, Dave, is I'm sick of looking at paperwork here.
The most important person in drifting right now is Marcin, that start line, because he is ready to kick this season off. As you can see, the heat indicator leaning right over to Tor Arne Kavia. He's got more experience. He's also topped qualifying. He's in form. His top qualifying position will put him in the lead position here. He's got a big advantage here, Ian, and he's going to try and put on another Stormer 97 run to put his opponent under pressure.
Certainly has, Dave, but we know he's got it in the bag because he is, of course, the Norwegian sledgehammer as he smashes through the gears. They fire down into that first corner and Kavia starts to pull away. As you can see, Kavia smoking out Gregor Cavalier at the moment as he goes very wide. Cavalier getting lost in the smoke, shortcuts the circuit, he finds two wheels on the inside of the track. Oh, and shuts it down. Gregor Cavalier struggling to follow the Norwegian sledgehammer as Kavia puts foot to floor once again through the hairpin. This man looking rock solid this weekend, and in the background you can see a damaged and a broken Gregor Cavalier as he struggles to keep up with Kavia. And Kavia once again textbook as he finishes up an incredible lead line.
Yeah, it looks to me like Gregor Cavalier did straighten up, and if he did straighten up for a long period of time, that's going to be, since you've gone in there before, you get to panicking, you get to straightening, you get to zeros. So let's see if Cavalier can turn this one around in the second half of this battle. Kavia's going to have to pace himself a little bit here. He's going to have to try and feel it out. He's got the big advantage. Will he hold back? That might be the clever option here, but we know what the Norwegian sledgehammer is like. He's coming here to put on a show.
Certainly is, Dave, but he does hold back. You were right, he just hangs back ever so slightly in the background, keeps himself a safe distance away from Cavalier, now starts to rein him in down the fast part of the back end of the circuit. And look at this from Kavia, plays with the door of the BMW of Gregor Cavalier as they come in to that front clipping point. Tor Arne Kavia hunting down the side of the BMW, waits for the perfectly timed transition as Kavia once again jumps up onto the door, gives him the room to maneuver, now makes the dive once again. A little straight and a little waver there from Cavalier out front as Kavia holds his own, looks for one last time to get onto the door, and Kavia all over the side, even gives him a little nudge to try and help him around the final turn.
I think Cavalier had a gear change issue there, and I shut down.
He went to Tor Arne Kavia. Here we go, decision starts coming in, slide him left for Kavia, right for Gregor Cavalier, and there we go.
Boys do it the best. So now on to the next battle. Now here's one I saw popping up going, oh, here we go. The fastest man, or one of the fastest men on track, Juha Rintanen, goes against Pavel Borkovsky. Now,
two already. This is an incredible battle. Rintanen off the line. Borkovsky tries to hunt him down. Look at the pace already of Juha Rintanen as he fires in. Already a big separation. As Pavel Borkovsky not even in the fight. Can Pavel Borkovsky shortcut some of the circuit and try and gain some proximity back? As you see that incredible S15 of Juha Rintanen's make its way down into the dirt, drops wheels off the edge of the circuit. That opens the door for Pavel Borkovsky to try and claim some lost ground back as he now shortcuts the hairpin back up onto the rear bumper. He goes of Juha Rintanen's S15, but once again Rintanen hammers down and starts to put some distance between himself and the Polishman. They get into the final turn and Borkovsky looks for the side but just cannot find anything in it.
You know what? There was an interesting tactic there. I think Juha Rintanen has gripped up his car.
Drove away from him. Can I slow this car down enough to keep onto the back bumper of that S14? We're about to find out. Pavel Borkovsky off the start line through the chicane. He goes absolutely flat out right now as they initiate down. You can see Rintanen struggling to keep that car sideways, almost straight, and he does straighten, has to reinitiate as Juha Rintanen might have made a massive mistake, but Pavel Borkovsky goes way off track.
Two big errors. I think that might be a 0-0. I'm wondering, did Rintanen straighten enough on the way through the first corner that it almost was a 0? He was pretty straight. And then Borkovsky, well, it would make no difference to Rintanen anyway. I think Rintanen would probably take it either way. But it looked to me like Rintanen had it straight, and then Borkovsky left it, no doubt. Then went straight off the track, took out the cones. And I would imagine that's a non-score maybe for both, or maybe Rintanen I don't know. Irregardless, I'd forward decision for the judges, and it is. Juha Rintanen, the Finnish driver, goes through to the top 16. No, was in a GT86. Now he's in an S15. Conor Shannon was in an S15. Now he's in a GT86. Let's see if it goes better for them. We're about to find out. Conor Shanahan probably with the
start line. I'm ready to rock and roll. Conor Shanahan in the lead position through the chicane. He goes down through the gears. Faint initiation. Oh, and a big front wheel lockup from Mikael Overgaard. Puts him into an understeer situation. Now he has to reinitiate. Conor Shanahan rock steady out front, looking cool, calm and collected as Mikael Overgaard seems to be on the ropes at the moment. Shanahan off throttle for a very, very long time in that diesel zone. Gets the car set up perfectly, though. Now starts to find the pace, starts to drive away from Mikael Overgaard. Overgaard looking wounded in the background. Just cannot seem to find himself back in the fight of this one. As Shanahan, you could tell again, gripped up the car to the 9s to try and drive away from Overgaard as he transitions into outside zone 7. Overgaard sacrificing line, but just no fight from Mikael Overgaard.
And let Overgaard get away. Let's see what happens as the lights go from red to green and they go through the gears, firing into that hill at over 120k. Overgaard fires in, Shanahan fires in. Shanahan on shallow angle in the chase position, but he's a little bit closer. We almost lost Shanahan in the smoke there, but now look at this proximity from Shanahan as they come down the hill. Overgaard on quite an inside line here. Can he make it work? He can make it work. Good line from Overgaard, collecting all of those clipping zones, but now Shanahan bringing that proximity into the infield and right with Overgaard as they come through that second hairpin. Oh, and a shutdown from Overgaard, completely stopped. That looked to me like he went for an upshift and something didn't work there, Ian.
Wow.
And Shanahan knows. He's no judge, but he knows.
He knows,
if the car in front of him is stopped, then he's going through. And you know what? The fight was on just up until that moment.
Yeah, do you know what? And I'm gutted that one got cut short because it was looking like a real good battle. We'd love to see the replay of that one to see exactly what.
And there you have it, Conor Shanahan. I mean, if you're a first-time viewer of Drift Masters, this is a spectacular show. Felix Lindvall, so impressed with him. He is a new superstar coming in.
While chasing Felix Lindvall. Lindvall off the line. We're messing around that carbon Kevlar. Nissan 206 S15 fires down into outside zone 1 and looks like Reihart's having issues. Reihart fires into the gravel.
Oh, Reihart's off the track. I'll tell you exactly what's happened there. That was the initiation from Michael Reihart. It was far too early. It put him on the wrong arc. He initiated that he had to avoid the inner part of the corner, which pushed him wide too soon, and he went straight off the track. And of course, with the smoke cloud from Lindvall's car there, he couldn't actually see where the edge of the track was. So he found out quick enough, but yeah, one of those things where I think this Lindvall character is now, to me, starting to, you know, look a little bit like the favorite. I mean,
he's going to be one of those guys, Dave, who rocks up to the event and we're like, who is this guy? And then by the end of the weekend, we've got the t-shirt, we've got the line, there we go, thumbs up all round, lights light up. Mikael Reihart now, a little bit of time for redemption, sits in the lead position, but what can Felix Lindvall do in the chase? We have yet to see this man in action. Being a very technical, tactical driver at the moment, looks like he's going to hold back and play the safe game as Lindvall lets Mikael Reihart make his way round the first turn down into the outside zone. Lindvall just needs to be careful he doesn't get penalised for an inactive chase, or make his own mistakes, as it looks like he does down the back end of the track. Just drops a wheel off the circuit. But he is 1.5 miles away from the back end of Mikael Reihart's car, and this could, Dave, dangerously flirt him with an inactive chase.
Yeah, we'll have our judges. Obviously, we'll bring Kevin and the guys in whenever we have something we need to ask, or whatever you guys are thinking, maybe a questionable decision. But to me, it looked like Lindvall's state decision is in. Judges are going to make it, and it is predictable. Right, yeah, it's a one more time, and it looks like Michael Reihart, who was sitting in the gravel after the first round, goes back in. Kev, talk gravel, you're out, and then hey, you're back in.
I did it twice in one day.
Incredible.
I was right.
Podiumed on this track in 2019. He goes up against a guy that's been proving, but he's going to have to be the real deal now. Here we go.
Certainly stays through the chicane. It comes. Zalewski. Ivanuskis goes for an early initiation, smoking the tyres already on the back of that 200SX. Gets on the inside. Ivanuskis looking confident as he hunts down the side of Adam Zalewski's car, and looked like Ivanuskis was going to go for an overtake there. He's going to have to be very careful. He's flirting with danger right now as he drops a wheel off the edge of the circuit. Ivanuskis doesn't want to get left behind, and he knows that there's pace in that GT86 of Adam Zalewski as they come through the centre of the circuit. Ivanuskis smokes up the tyres. You can see hardly any tyre smoke coming from the back of Adam Zalewski's car. He's gripped that up to the absolute max as he looks for the final outside zone. Foot flat to the floor as Ivanuskis gets left.
Well, yeah, that's the difference, and I think
tyre changing.
You can't tyre change, so he's got to go with it as it is. That is a puncture.
It's a puncture. It's DB'd already. It's DB'd off the start line.
Yeah, he's got a problem, a big problem here. And he's thrown in there, and he's got a tyre gone from the back of the car. And now Zalewski obviously is moving at way too much pace for. We've got an issue here because we got the lead driver with no tyre, and he's going off the track. Oh.
He's going to try and keep in it. Look at this
going. Zalewski's going, what do you want me to do? This car in front of me is so slow because he's got no grip. It's a little messy here now. Can Zalewski stay in it? And he's got to avoid making big contact here and spinning out. So yeah, you're not allowed to start if it's DB'd, but it wasn't DB'd at the start line. It only DB'd just as he came off, and the bumper's getting shredded off. brave drive for Ivanovski to try and actually get around the track, and he does. Like, oh, he's off the track, there's cones everywhere. Yeah, that's because it's flat. It's not even. So Adam Zalewski, again, the judges, I mean, this is like a holiday. But it's a nice contrast, I like it. So here we go, Clemens Caudier. Great qualifying second run.
No, but
the Corolla is very fast for that first section. Let's see what happens as they come off the line, slamming through the gears, up to fourth gear. Let's look at the handbrake, sending it in. Clemens Caudier, another Coudoua now trying to make up the ground down the hill, but he's got a little bit of ground to make. Oh, that Corolla is so fast. Carbon Kevlar, 660 horsepower. Let's look at every single bit of it. That's probably the lightest car on the grid, I would imagine. With 660 horsepower, 2-litre turbo under the hood. And look at this Coudoua trying to dial off all the smoke to try and catch up with him. Even running a wheel into the grass there, but he's still not making any inroads to getting onto his door. He's now making mistakes in the chase position, but not gaining any proximity. And they finish more or less together, but I think I'm going to have to agree, Keith. The keenness of Clement Caudier to get out of the block.
On his first ever competition. Well, look, now he sits in the lead position. Nodu Coudoua sits there. Clemens Caudier. Well, he says, I've done my part. Let's see if you can do your part. And I'm going to try and stick this carbon Kevlar Corolla to the door. Flames are up from both of the back of the cars. Oh, off throttle there from Coudoua as they come down the outside zone. And look at this. Caudier starts to bring the pressure, starts to bring the fight. Shallows up the angle. The Georgia driver goes on big angle. Oh, goes four wheels off the edge of the circuit. Brings it back on though. He says, I'm not done the fight yet. I'm still going to try and push. I'm still going to try and bring everything to this as Caudier holds back, waits and lets him do his move. As Nodu Coudoua puts foot flat to the floor, screams down in front of the grandstand, the final turn. Clemens Caudier does exactly what he needs to do, complete the run.
Well, an outside judges have gone off for an ice cream now. They said we'll come back when we get 2 complete runs. Clemens Caudier.
Yeah, because there's 2 of them, Dave.
I feel you're going to have a group buy. Yeah. Benediktas Čurba takes the pink livery, but Benediktas Čurba's second qualifying run was outrageously good.
Yeah, Benediktas Čurba in the yellow car on the lead position now, absolutely firing through. 2 E92s are going to go to battle. Which one is going to make it through? Christopher Baum, the local driver, going to have all the support. But Benediktas Čurba comes with a whole stack of statistics and experience under his belt now as Benediktas Čurba puts in an absolutely incredible lead line through the slower part of the circuit. And you can see Christopher Baum starts to slow down, starts to get lost in the smoke. As Benediktas Čurba puts foot to floor, looks for outside zone 6, now starts to really drive away as Christopher Baum gets lost, has no answer from the fight brought by Benediktas Čurba.
I think the biggest story there is at the bottom of your screens. Benediktas Čurba.
They get the thumbs up, they look for the start line, all the lights illuminate, they are good to go, and we do get a clean start this time. Through the chicane goes Christopher Baum. Benediktas Čurba onto the back bumper he goes, they fire through past the grandstand, and Benediktas Čurba starts to get lost in the smoke from Clemens Caudier. Christopher Baum as they fire down.
Oh, Čurba, a big angle here. I think it's clever though. I think he's slowing the car down just to see what the lead driver does. Now he's back up onto the quarter panel of the lead driver, and Baum with a big angle out of that hairpin is going to help Benediktas Čurba get back into this. And Čurba's right there. Oh, it's a bit of a different line from both drivers. Čurba's having to hop across the grass. He's still staying in this though, and he's got that proximity. Now can he wind it up onto the door? Čurba almost over-rotates into that last section, but I think he's done enough.
That one.
For the judges, Benediktas Čurba going through to the top 16. Christopher Baum, you know what? A lot learned though. He ended up in it one more time because see what happens. It will be Michael Reichardt in the blue BMW in the chase position. Oh, what happened there? What happened there? The light didn't go green.
Oh.
Oh no, we have an issue. Reichardt's taken off the steering wheel.
Steering wheel's off, doors open. Felix Lindvall shuts it down.
Flagged. What happened, Michael Reichardt? I remember he had an issue when he couldn't get out of the judging area when he received the one more time call. He actually couldn't drive forward. Has the same issue occurred again? This is getting...
So we are waiting to find out what is going on with Michael Reichardt's car. Sounds like probably a drive shaft issue maybe, Dave.
Blowing a drive shaft coming off the start line.
Oh,
happens.
Man. So much grip wound into these cars that even just physically leaving the start line.
Old school versus new school, and then the youngest is driving the new Sky. It's confusing.
Confusing.
But yeah, are modern cars better than old cars?
Well, Stavros Grillis, though, out-qualified.
Yeah, he's a debutant. Grillis, he's going to be a brand new driver to this championship. Let's see what he can do. He's in the lead position as a higher qualifier. Erlendsen's got 963 horsepower chasing him down here as they go into that first corner. But he can't catch him. Stavros Grillis is faster through that first corner. Erlendsen now trying to wind in that Corolla through the first section. And look at this. Very fast through there, Grillis. A big angle. Can he hold it? He can. Erlendsen's struggling to keep up with him here, which is crazy. This kid is a talent. Stavros Grillis debuting all the way from Greece, and you know what? He looks like he has been driving this track his entire life right now. That is an incredible performance. Hammering the throw across the line, and Erlendsen close to an inactive chase. And Christian Erlendsen flying that Swedish flag with pride. This is going to be interesting. Does that little Corolla have the pace in the chase position?
Well, we're about
to find out. It looks like it does.
Yeah, down they come now. Erlendsen fires in the absolute stormer of a lead run. Can Stavros Grillis keep up? He certainly is going to be closer than what Erlendsen was in the chase position. Erlendsen not messing around. Big flick in to that decel zone. Hammers on the throttle. Does miss that outside zone, though, but now he starts to pull away.
Oh, what happened?
And Stavros Grillis is completely shut down. Oh, Christian Erlendsen just needs to complete the run, but as Christian Erlendsen got, oh, he snapped a tie rod.
Oh, look at
he snapped a tie rod. The front steering's completely broken. So how does this play out? Is it the first?
So that's, in my limited knowledge, it would be that both drivers would complete an inactive.
Hold on. There was no contact, right?
I don't know. How did he break? If you see the angle that Erlendsen went into that corner, he was on, yeah. Now, I'm agreeing with this call because I think on the second run, both...
He had an advantage going for the first run, significantly.
Rintanen, Connor Shanahan, Felix Linville. There's an interesting battle.
That's an interesting one.
Adam Zalewski going up against GT86 against A80s now of going into the end of that first corner. All that oil on the track. Is there confidence there? Jack Shanahan will be the lead driver, so he's tail. Anything can happen here in the top 32. Lights are going to go green. Shanahan will be the lead driver as he is the higher qualifier. Zafrevsky in the chase position, looking across at Shanahan. He's got the pace to stay with him, initiate into that first corner. And Shanahan puts the floor very fast through that first corner as Jack Shanahan. Now he's going to be tentative here, I'd imagine, as he comes to this oil spill. No such issues. Oh, a little bit of a wobble, but yeah, keeps it going. And the chase driver struggling, cutting the course. Zafrevsky trying to stay with Shanahan, but not getting there. And the fact that he's cutting the course and not getting the proximity, the judges are going to hurt him for that. And a straighten across the curve there. A little bit of inexperience, maybe just biting a little bit too hard at some of the corners there is Zafrevsky. As Shanahan goes into that last corner, no such issues. As Zafrevsky does get back into the mix, but he did a lot of cutting of the track to get there.
Yeah,
he's seen this type of situation switch. Well, here we go. Shanahan in the chase, very close on initiation as Jack Shanahan. The closest we've seen any driver today. Now he's going to try and wind in that distance as they come down the hill. And Nikolai, he's right to the edge of the circuit. Nice lead run here. Both cars seem to be unaffected by the track conditions. A bit wide there, but tidies it up. Zafrevsky doing a good job, but Shanahan's right there with proximity, taking a little tighter line in there to stay with him, and now he's right with him. And this is where Jack Shanahan's going to try and gain that proximity. And he has it right onto the door, wheel up onto the grass from Jack Shanahan, attacking into that last corner, right up onto the door, and expect him to go very close here, as he does. The closest chase run of the day so far. She's back, and I think there's still more in the tank for Jack Shanahan, but definitely enough right now to go through to the top 16, and Jack Shanahan will advance on. 16 years of age, from the UK, made a lot of impressions there, but he's up to the big leagues now for the first time ever. Setup. This one right down to the wire. Look at Max Cotton, look at the concentration in those young eyes as he comes off the start line and through the gears. He is the higher qualifier, throws it into the first corner, but Diego Correa not backing down, but understeer. Correa's got understeer, he's going to go off the track here, I think, just about stays on it. Had to back out when it got a little too close in that first corner, and Correa now playing the catch-up game. He's still in this battle, and look at that, Max Cotton, super tidy on the end of that first corner.
Yeah, certainly, really. Oh, and straight.
Cotton's got a problem.
Cotton shuts it.
Cotton has a
Cotton's got a problem.
Now, let's go back to that first corner. Does Diego Correa drop two wheels?
Yeah, I mean.
Now, Cotton's definitely got an issue there. Look, he's trying to drift here, and the car is drifting. So what happened there?
I'm going to say that's a gear shift. We got on board, Dave.
We do have an onboard.
So we'll exactly see what was up.
Something happened. He's there in the lead position, so he won't have that issue on the first corner. I think he might be in a strong position here, depending on how the judges go. Correa's got the pace too. Look at that, leaving Con for dead on the run-up. Correa's car is so fast. Look at that, down the hill. Con has no answer there.
Yeah, Correa's car absolutely up and gone as Max Cotton struggles to find proximity. But here he comes. Oh, and the heat of the moment. Getting all too much for Max Cotton as he throws it off track. I
think that's decided. I think that was definitely another 2 wheels and a straight off from Max Cotton, and it spun it here, half spun it into that corner.
Just about hold on.
Yeah, I think it's falling apart. Correa just has to get across this finish line without making any errors. And you know what? I have to say it, from watching him briefly last year, I think Diogo Correa has come a long way in his skill and ability, and I think it's a deserved win for him here. He has. And it is Correa from Portugal going into the top 16. If I'm not mistaken, the highest.
And he had a gear shift issue, so could he pull that together? Look, so the heat indicator waned against Mevlut Mladze. That's just the experience, though. Qualification, though, goes to both those cars. They went off circuit.
I've got a little bit of inside information because, you know, I've got a little ear on the marshals and the team behind the scenes. Our onboard cameras are shutting down due to heat. So it's that hot in those cars. Look at Randalou, though. He is absolutely up and gone here.
Yeah, look at Randalou, no messing around, absolutely firing down the back end of the circuit. And Mevlut Mladze now is absolutely left in the cloud of smoke. Needs to... Oh, it goes off circuit.
Not sure what happened there. It must have been a mechanic, maybe a downshift. I mean, that downshift again could have cost him. He had issues with that in qualifying. Has that, you know, reared its ugly head again, and just those gear changes.
Yeah,
some of these cars running sequential gearboxes, which is essentially like a... For very layman's terms, it's a manual gearbox that's like an automatic gearbox. You have to change the gear, but you know, it's a lot more, it goes up and down without having to.
It certainly has. Well, there we go, get the thumbs up all round. The lights light up on our start line. Mladze screams through the chicane, and down he goes as Oliver Randalou takes a glance over, waits for him to initiate, and fires up onto the back bumper. Oliver Randalou, though, put too much angle on it. Has to think about it as Randalou comes down. Mevlut Mladze carrying a hell of a lot of speed down into the outside zone. Oh, and he gets it wrong. Just couldn't carry the speed.
I have to say, Randalou just stayed in it, and I was like, oh, there's going to be a big crash. He did not lift. He said he actually predicted where Mladze was going to end up and just kept going. Crazy.
Mevlut Mladze was absolutely flying, though, and Randalou was with him, and he was like, well, if we're going together.
It's definitely an issue with the car. You can see it's the gear change, something up with that car. Every time he's got to change gear, it's straightening up, or it's... Oliver Randalou from Estonia, he goes through to the top 16. Internal parts to make sure it's working. Here we go. It is going to be, and look at this heat indicator right in the middle, because this one has been competing all over the world. A lot of experience lining up here, a lot of aggression, and a lot of horsepower. Lots and lots of horsepower. Here we go. Dimitri in the lead position. Manuel Vaca in the chase position. Here we go. Oh, Vaca with a very late initiation. This is going to cost him a poor line here. Will he stay on the track? He's completely lost in the smoke now, Manuel Vaca. And Iliok just creating so much smoke. How do you see through that if you're in a chase car? Vaca coming in, he's trying to make an attack here into this hairpin. Doing a good job, though, of getting back into the battle. Vaca's definitely got pace in that BMW. And Iliok is kind of like an on and off switch of power. Watch, just boom, the back end just explodes the tires. Iliok has a lot of power here. He's taking a little bit of an advantage on the transition. Can we see a dive from Manuel Vaca? We can. He's definitely cutting the course short a little bit just to stay on him. Oh, a little bit of straightening. Plenty of action on that run, Ian, but Dimitri Iliok, his car looks hard to screen, and Manuel Vaca's car
looks like oil, yeah.
Looks like oil. I'm not sure exactly what that's about, but anyway, we'll send them off the start line. Manuel Vaca in the lead position. Iliok in the chase. Iliok lead initiation with Dimitri Iliok. Wow, massive separation. Manuel Vaca not on major angle though through that first corner, just kind of using the speed at his disposal. And Dimitri Iliok trying to catch up here. Now he's struggling to catch up into this, so this is kind of swinging it back, the pendulum back towards Manuel Vaca.
Yeah, Manuel Vaca on a not a bad lead line at the moment, but Dimitri Iliok now is absolutely left. No proximity, no pace.
So
and
bizarre,
Manuel
right?
Vaca is firing away. Now, do we have an inactive chase? I think we have a chase, but what happened to Dimitri Iliok?
He just couldn't catch him. And
Oh, and there we go. Manuel Vaca gets the win. Manuel Vaca gets the win.
Just going to jump quickly back to Kevin. Kevin, just talk us through what I would consider two of the most impressive machines on the grid. This is a big battle. Peter Viansek going up against Joe Hutunji.
Dave, you're sitting on the line of your brand new BMW and you look across and
he's only got delivery money.
Insane polishman you've ever met.
Here we go. Joe Hutunji's got pace anyway. Wow. Into the first corner they go. Joe Hutunji just washing a little bit, had to back off the throttle there. And now a little bit of straightening from Joe Hutunji. It just looked like he had to back off quite a bit. And Peter Viansek took big advantage of that. Viansek hopping a wheel up onto the curb as well. And now Joe Hutunji's playing catch up here. Just had to back off. It looked like the car fought him a little bit halfway through the first corner. Came in very, very aggressive, but couldn't match it up. And Peter Viansek now switches back, increasing his lead now. Inactive chase will be if Peter Viansek finishes this last corner without Joe Hutunji going through the clip. And it's not far off it as a massive gap opens up between the Red Bull Drift brother of Joe Hutunji and the chase.
And Viansek, well, spotters would have been on the radio telling him that there was hardly, well, zero chase from Hutunji. And he lets him get away, lets him escape ever so slightly now as Joe Hutunji starts to put foot down, starts to hammer away, gets himself comfortable in that lead position as Viansek hunts down the side of that brand spanking new BMW. Viansek flirts with danger as he dabbles on the handbrake, and the flames out of the rear window must be so off-putting for Peter Viansek right now. They come down into the hairpin. Viansek looks for the back bumper, holds on, waits for the transition, starts to attempt to dive, but Joe Hutunji looks like he's found some pace. Looks like he's found some grip in that car, but he's completely sacrificed the outside zone. He's on the wrong line, just about holds on to it, and that opens the door for Viansek.
I'll tell you what, you see Viansek's proximity just right there at the end.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty predictable one. It will be Peter Viansek from Poland going into the top 16. He started this weekend as the favourite, folks. Kaelin Kierton, the wild card this weekend, looking so comfortably untested.
Yeah, and for me, no seat time compared to Kaelin Kierton's seat time. Kierton's been absolutely flying so far this weekend. After we said he looked like he was struggling in practice, what has he got? They fire down 113 kilometres an hour. Hipke not scared. Hipke looking for a little bit of redemption this weekend after a blown engine in practice yesterday. Hipke gets himself close on the inside and then has to bail out of it as Kaelin Kierton struggles to get himself on that qualifying line, drops a wheel, is starting to fall apart now for Kaelin Kierton as Grzegorz Hipke waits, lets him make the mistakes, looks for the opportunity to dive on, straightens through the middle. Once again, Kaelin Kierton, the favourite, the stronger driver, starts to crumble underneath the pressure of Grzegorz Hipke as Hipke goes for a last-ditch dive up into the side of the S15.
I mean, if you saw the piece, I don't know, he found an engine in Austria. And I'm pretty sure you don't build 700 horsepower engines
and just leave them sitting around.
So we won't ask, but it seems to be working pretty good.
Well, at the moment it does, Dave. Through the gears they go now. Kaelin Kierton gets an opportunity of some redemption, but look at this. Hipke starts to pull some ground and put some separation between him and Kaelin Kierton, and this is a much nicer lead line from Grzegorz Hipke. They come down into that front inside clipping point, and Kaelin Kierton takes the opportunity to try and gain some lost ground as they transition back. Grzegorz Hipke looks for the opportunity to try and pull away. You can see the front wheels almost lift off the tarmac as Hipke squeezes the accelerator down. He comes into outside zone 7, and Kaelin Kierton's got his bumper on the inside, on the grass. Kaelin Kierton goes for the dive, but Hipke looks the stronger contender.
Whew. Now we start to see the emergence, the stronger of the two, and there you have it. Grzegorz Hipke gets the win, and a man that just turned up with a minute.
The line.
So line versus style and angle?
Yep.
Over 2 runs.
Yep.
We're about to see which is the better way to drive. I think. Or it could be the complete opposite, like everything else has been today. Here we go. It is Zamic in the chase position. It's going to be Axel Francois in the lead position. Comes through. Lots of angle coming out of the cones from Axel Francois. Zamic, as you can see, all the speed. He's right with, he's got a big problem now. I think he's got a problem with that car.
I think he went too hot.
I think he went in too hot, hit the front brake and nearly over-rotated and then backed out. And which works better, style and angle or precision?
I think
well,
precision,
right now, precision seems to be the way to go.
Yeah, I Norbert Zamic. Oh no, he's gone straight off the back edge of the circuit there, down the bottom. Well, maybe there is a big issue with that car.
I think there's something wrong with that car. The way it snapped. You know, like it looked like he went in and snapped. It just looked something very weird happened with that car. I mean, we'll probably get another look at it on the replay, but the fact that he's crawling back to the fact that he's straight lined after he just messed it up.
I did a...
Is that the first race driver in history to say that it wasn't the car, it was him?
It was me, yeah.
Wow, what an honest guy.
And you take a look, you can see it. You know?
So here we go. Let's hope he doesn't make another mistake as they come into this corner. No such worries here. Wow, look at the pace of that car from Norbert Zammich. Axel Francois, though, keeping with him, but just about keeping with him. As they come down the hill, Zammich on the handbrake, little adjustment. Looking very strong. Axel Francois, as you can see, it's the pace difference here. It's going to be a troublesome one for Axel Francois coming up against someone else in the top 16. Car not the fastest on track, but he is super precise. And as long as he can keep within touching distance here, he won't have an inactive chase. But my God, Norbert Zammich's car is fast. He almost too fast. He makes a big error at the end, hits a wheel off, and Axel Francois stays with it. I still think that's enough for Francois to get through. But
so there we go, we make it official. Axel Francois gets the win and advances through into the top 16. Of course, I said earlier, these two guys, you know, they've thrown some punches at each other before, but this time Marco...
Well, here we go. It will be Marco Zaccarel in the lead position. Romanowski's creeping off the line. He knows how fast Marco Zaccarel is. He's going to give it absolutely everything in. Romanowski's full throttle, but look at Zaccarel, massive pace. But Romanowski's sticking with him. He's got that car that he's in the smoke cloud now. As they come down the hill, look at this. Christoph Romanowski staying on the inside of the circuit. Good run from both drivers. I think it sounds like we have a D-bead because there was a little bit of screeching from the tires, but it looks like they're okay at the moment. As they transition back, Zaccarel now. And look at Romanowski cutting the track just to try and stay up on the back bumper. He's doing a good job of staying in the fight here. Put a wheel on the grass, but Zaccarel, once he puts the foot down, but now he's on big angle here, Zaccarel. Huge angle. Can he control it? It looks like he can control it. Romanowski's cutting the track. Not much between them in that. No clean run from either driver and very much in the balancing.
Get ready, door slam shut. Lights light up, and Zaccarel almost jumps the start line to try and gain a little bit. Christoph Romanowski, but now Romanowski fires away, starts to pull away from Marco Zaccarel. Is this even possible right now? Zaccarel, the fastest man on the circuit, can he hang with Christoph Romanowski as Romanowski starts to put down an absolutely incredible lead line? The gap closes up. Oh, contact! Contact for Marco Zaccarel on Romanowski. And what a spectacular way to finish off that battle. Now, the question that needs to be asked. Zaccarel. We go back to the slow-mo camera to take a good look at this one. And Romanowski. Oh, I'm not sure. I think we might have to have a chat with our head judge, Kevin O'Connell, about that one to find out, was that error forced? We go, slide them left for Zaccarel, right for Romanowski. One vote for Zaccarel. There we go, Marco Zaccarel gets the win. So here we go, here's the results from our top 32, and I'm going to talk you through the battles to come in top 16. It will be Tour Andy Kavia to take on Juha Rinne.